Hi, welcome to another video. I'm going to do some landscape photography, but I'm going to do it handheld. And it's a glorious autumn morning. There's a bit of a breeze here. I'm up at the top of the Eurotunnel thing. We've got some parasailers, so they're going to hopefully kick off. I might get a shot of them. Got this wonderful farmland behind me. So what I want to do is get in the car, just drive around some local areas, see if I can find some human element. I love the human element in photography. Managed to get the DJI working, if you saw my other video. But I've had to do a reset, so I don't know if it's filming it at 4:3 or 16:9. So I might have to do some cropping on the video. Lovely scene. It's going to be a pano of 2 shots. And I think what I'll do is just rock up to a location, find a scene, take a shot and display it straight away rather than galleries at the end and all of that kind of stuff. It's just good to be out, isn't it, you know? It's okay, let's take this shot. I'm going into shutter priority at 1/100th of a second. It's giving me f8, which is fine. I like the houses. Nice. Okay, here's that shot. I'm going to find another one. I don't know if you can see the parasailers. It looks like they're actually packing up and getting ready to go, so I won't take a shot of them. But I just thought, you know, let's do a Saturday morning, getting out in the car, drive around the countryside. The whole aspect of just having a human element in a landscape photograph really brings things out. It puts it into perspective. It's all very well taking a picture of, you know, a landscape, trees, a mountain, waterfalls, all of that kind of stuff. But sometimes you miss the actual vastness of the landscape, and you don't realise how large it is. Having to navigate these little lanes here. I'm going to get away from the coast, get inland a bit. I feel like I'm doing one of my driving videos, but I'm not. So yeah, I want to capture some landscape photographs today with human element in them, and that could be a railway bridge, an old farmhouse, some dilapidated barn. I reckon it'll be good. So I'm going to just do a drive around. I'm not going to have you watching me do all the driving. But when I get to a location, we'll size it up and we'll see what's what. I'm at Etchinghill, just on the crest of the North Downs. Folkestone's about 3 miles that way. This is military training ground, and there's a sign at the gate that says you're welcome to walk around, but be aware that the military will be firing blank ammunition Saturday morning. There's no training going on. There's quite a nice aspect, but there's nothing that stands out in terms of landscape versus man-made structures. I know I'm going to get some as I travel further that way. To my right, at the top of Etchinghill, they used this location for World War I, training the troops in trench warfare. So they actually dug all the trenches in the top of the hill. I'll put a Google Maps overview to show you. You can just about make out the lines where the trenches were. So tragic. We know what happened at World War I, right? The rat-infested, flea-infested trenches where they spent months and months, and I think they gained only a few hundred yards sort of within months, and then in the end they all climbed over and were shot to bits. Warfare has changed. Warfare's not nice. What are you going to do though? Defend your island? We've got coppices of trees. Coppices? But the sun is shining at me, so I need to get on the other side to take a nice shot of them, especially if I can get the sun coming through. But we'll have a look at that when I get there. There's a foodstuffs trailer just there. But here we've got the telecom tower. Talk about putting a man-made structure into an image, right? It's rather fascinating. It just stands out. And when you're driving along the M20 coming into Folkestone, you can see it in the distance. To actually be this close, I'll take 2 pictures of this. I'm going to take one from here, but I'll take one when I'm back there, just, you know, as close as I can be. Because it's a fascinating structure. So I'm at f11, 100th of a second. Just a random shot of the telecom tower. Let me walk over there and we'll get the sun behind me. I think it would be better than trying to shoot into the sun. I'm not doing live view because I drained the battery. There's some cattle up there. There's people with their dogs and the dogs are barking and the cattle are going crazy. But I've got the foodstuffs truck. Can you see it? So the coppice of trees with the foodstuff. How man-made is that, right? And I'm not on the tripod, so you know it's shaking about a bit. I like the reflection of the landscape on the coppice, on the foodstuffs. That'll make a 16 by 9, I think. It's just so random. Random photography. There's the coppice. Is it called a coppice or a copse? A copse. Let's call it a copse from now on. I think coppice is when they chop the trees down, isn't it? Because I'm good at English language. So what I'll do is take a shot, I think at knee level with the sun shining through. Looks rather nice. I don't need to take the whole thing. And actually looking at that, it looks better with this footpath, doesn't it? Because then you're getting the footpath as a leading line, leading right up to it. It's all good stuff. It's composition, isn't it? That's what we're looking at, more than you know, just getting out for the photography. As I'm then getting out, I think, oh, if I do this perspective and that perspective, so you see things. I had the intention, come out, take the pictures, but it's not until you actually get there that you realise this will make a good picture if I take it from this angle, at this height, you know, that kind of stuff. These 2 pictures, well, 2 pictures, 1, 2, 3, 4 pictures, and then I'll go and find another location. That was fascinating. I've always wanted to go up to that telecom tower, especially when I knew about the trenches on the top of Etchinghill there. But you never know what you're going to expect, and sometimes just getting out with the camera, as I say in a lot of my videos, reveals some great sights. I took more than a few pictures up there. And I met a couple, young couple, guy with his Sony AX7 IV 37mm, I don't know what they are, the one that Phototripper uses. And he had this, you know, this kind of super zoom lenses. I felt quite embarrassed with my entry-level DSLR. I must upgrade. But the reality is, as Mike Brown always says, the camera doesn't take the picture, you take the picture. So it's your eyes, it's what you see. Anyway, great chatting with you. You did say you would subscribe, so that was wonderful. Right, on to the next location. Okay, this one isn't quite a man-made structure sitting in the middle of the landscape. This is a man-made structure. I love this kind of stuff. When you get these old train bridges, and this one is an old disused railway line. Fascinating stuff. I think a picture from the other side because we've got a bin. I love this kind of stuff. Engineering, man-made structures, always going to make a good photograph because it kind of makes us think of old world, a bygone era, and I like to capture those kind of things. So if I can stand on this side looking at it with the sun coming through, isn't that spectacular? That's got to be worth a picture, either from this direction, this perspective, that perspective, a little further back. We've got some modern man-made elements like the footpath sign. Potentially clone it out, but it just looks lovely. I don't know whether I need to bracket this because the light coming through the the bridge, is actually quite bright, as you can see. So that gets blown out and it's overexposed. Just 18 mils, isn't that lovely? f8 60th of a second, ISO 1600. That's nice. Let's drop the ISO down a bit to compensate for the light, and I can do some bracketing by taking the trees and the light from the darker image and kind of what is it, bracket, you kind of do the painting and stuff. I'm not very good on the post-processing, but I can make it happen. Right, one more location, and it's further up that road. So here's that picture. I'll see you in a minute. I say it's the last one, but you know, it's a strange one. I just, getting out with the camera, taking pictures. I wanted to do landscapes and I wanted to incorporate man-made elements into them. I think I've achieved it in just a few of the pictures. But part of it is just, I hadn't earmarked anything. I just thought I'd get out in the car, but I've got this. It's wonderful countryside. And that's the limitation of Kent. We don't have the mountains and everything. Clouds are coming in. It's getting darker, but we got the windmill. Look at that windmill, isn't that wonderful? So just wait for that cloud to pass and I'll get a nice view of the sun shining on the windmill. I took one of these for my calendar. I actually did a calendar. I might do another calendar for, where are we now, November? It's kind of too late, but on bonus print you sometimes get is it the Friday thing they do, the Black Friday, 50% off. So I made 6 calendars, gave them to family, and the quality was outstanding. I was like really shocked. So I might well do it again just before Christmas. 2024 calendar. Who would like one? Drop me a comment. So I'm going to make sure the ISO is not on auto. I was using it on auto for the bridge. It's off. It's set to 100. I'll set my f-stop to f11. It looks rather pleasant, doesn't it? And now the sun's shining. So do I incorporate all the hedges like so? Or do I crop in and then do a pano? 1 shot, 2 shot, 3 shot. Really crop in. 1 shot, 2 shot. Yeah, it's going to be a series of photographs, I think, and then I'll probably display on the screen. It's very pleasant looking country. What do you call it? Kentish Windmill. That's the close-ups. That's the bit further out. It's all professional. That's at 50 mil, and then we'll come out. See. 18 mil gives me that, but I get the leading line. Do I want to use a leading line in here? Could work actually. have the road leading to the windmill. Yeah, very pleasant. So there you go, just out and about doing a couple of shots. I think if I go and do some landscape photography other than Kent, then if I see some man-made structures, I always like to put some kind of human element into it because it always gives a perspective. Very nice, very pleasant. So thanks for tagging along on this little video adventure, and I will see you in another video. Bye for now. Take care.